Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to another There Is a Place trailer. Be on the lookout for the There Is a Place TV show episodes. Those are a half-hour long, and look out for them. Maybe you've been watching them. I don't know. I hope you've been seeing the trailers before this one. This is trailer 16. If you haven't, please do. I think you'll find them very interesting. Also, look for the TV show and watch that. That's a half-hour long, and I think you'll enjoy that. The trailers are an introduction to the TV show. There Is a Place, we are for a revolution, a peaceful revolution. We want to end the market economy in a peaceful way, in a democratic way at the ballot box. And we want to set up a society, an economic democratic society. And what that is, boys and girls, as we've been saying in the other trailers, this is a society where the workplace is democratically owned and controlled by the workers. The workers own and control the means of production, and it's done democratically. The workers own and control the workplace and the government, okay? Not like today in the market economy where only a handful of people, less than 1% own and control almost everything. Okay, in trailer 16, we're going to talk a little bit about George Orwell. Let's go on. George Orwell, born 1903, died 1950. In his book, Animal Farm, I recommend that you read that book because he's talking about what was set up in the Soviet Union under Stalin in the name of freedom and equality, which was not under Stalin. There was torture and great suffering. Anyway, in Animal House, it was written, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Yeah, that's the way it was under. That's the way it is actually under a totalitarian bureaucracy, and that's the way it is actually under a market economy when we look at this. Because we're looking at George Orwell. He was a revolutionary in so many, in a sense, on what he had to say. And as we move forward to an economic democratic society, we look at revolutionaries of the past and we see what they have to say and what they said and how does it apply as we move to a future type of society. Okay, in a market economy, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Okay, that's true in a market economy. Some people are more equal than others. The capitalists have way more power than they deserve. They own and control the means of production. So there is no equality under the market economy. There is a lack of freedom. There is a lack of democracy. And under an economic democracy, the workers will own and control the wealth. Okay, in his book 1984, a quote that said there, "Big Brother is watching." Okay, in this book, you could apply it today under the market economy in the sense that in a sense, we are constantly being watched, as far as workers trying to fight our way for freedom and the limits of our freedom and how we're controlled by a sense of Big Brother. The Big Brother, in applying Orwell, are the capitalists. Okay, they basically they make a profit. They benefit off the hard work of workers. Workers get only a fraction of what they deserve. Okay. Almost all workers are exploited. A high percentage of workers are oppressed. We have 1 billion people starving in the world. Okay, and you could see that all this is controlled by a handful of people. Anytime unions are tried to be formed, you could see the capitalists and getting thugs to break unions. Any type of where workers are trying to fight for equality and a just society and for democracy and freedom, you could see the, in a sense, Big Brother was watching and stopping. Okay, and that's what he meant by that, and you can see how it applies in the forming of a market economy. What is said in 1984: war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Look at the market economy. Look at what people say. Ignorance is bliss. How could ignorance be bliss? Not knowing anything. That's ridiculous. This is part of a market economy. They talk about we have freedom. What freedom? Look at people are a slave to the work. They have little freedom, very little freedom. They have no say at the workplace. And then they talk about peace. Look at all the wars. We're constantly being involved in wars. For what? For a small group of people to maintain their profits? Okay, this is something to realize, boys and girls, and this is what Orwell, was implying, or we could use today what he said back then in his book 1984. It applies to today, looking at the market economy. Also looking at, in 1984, a quote from that book, "Power is not a means, it is an end. One does not establish a dictatorship in order to safeguard a revolution. One makes the revolution in order to establish the dictatorship. The object of persecution is persecution. The object of torture is torture. The object of power is power." Yeah, if we look at the market economy, how it's spread all over the world, the wars, how people are suffering, are being persecuted, at the workplace. You got kids working at the workplace, people getting injured. You got 1 billion people starving to death in the world. It's the suffering. You can look at our country, the unemployment, people barely making ends meet, just barely making it. What's going on here? Okay, just for a handful of people to benefit. Okay. This is, these are all forms of persecution, a lack of freedom of speech, lack of freedom, period. Okay, and in the economic democracy, we're not going to have this. No one is going to have the power. Okay, and when no one has the power, everyone has the power, boys and girls. Okay, these quotes by George Orwell, you can also find in Bartlett's Quotations. Okay, remember, boys and girls, until next time. The revolution is coming. Look for the TV show of There Is a Place, the episodes. Bye, boys and girls.